everyone, this is Gleeza, made with Glee. Welcome to my channel. I am super excited today. Today is the day that I am hosting my first collaboration on YouTube. About a month ago, I asked my fellow YouTube creators to create some sort of DIY for Halloween and then display it in a vignette. And today is the day that everyone's going to be posting their videos. I will have the playlist linked below in the description box. So if you've participated, you can just go ahead and click that link and add your video to the playlist. And I will leave that open for the rest of the month. So if you are planning and you didn't get a chance to create a DIY for Halloween and display it in a vignette, please do mention my channel and my name and be subscribed, of course, before adding your video to the playlist. I will be checking. I have my ways. So before I get to showing you guys all the things that I created for the Halloween DIY and vignette, first I want to show you my shirt that I made on my Cricut machine. I absolutely love that thing, and I love making t-shirts for myself. So I now have a new t-shirt for the Halloween season that I can wear all month long. So this is my first DIY. The vignette includes me in this chair. So does that count, guys? I'm a vignette right here. Me, a chair, stuff around me. Done. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do my little bit of magic and I'm gonna show you guys what I've done, and I hope you like it. Please do leave me a comment. Let me know which of my DIYs you like the best, and do check out the playlist and support your fellow YouTube creators by giving them a like, maybe a subscribe, and I so look forward to seeing what everyone has created. Thank you in advance for your participation. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. And that's it. Let's go.
Pumpkins, acorns, and falling leaves, melt away and be gone with thee. Spiders, lanterns, and spooky owls, appear and decorate this witch's house. Let it be, for it is almost Halloween. I hope you guys like my little spell / poem that I just wrote for this collaboration. Now this is my first vignette. This is my accent coffee table that was decorated for fall that I changed over for Halloween. And here I have these owls. The two smaller ones are from the Dollar Tree, the larger one is from Goodwill. I also have this creepy stack of pumpkins with the word boo on it, and I will have a DIY later on this week, so do come by to check out for that. I'll show you exactly how I created that. And then all of the florals that you see here are from the Dollar Tree, and I showed you guys in one of my previous videos how I change out my cross stitch to seasonally decorate. So that is pretty much it for this little vignette, just creepy cloth, Dollar Tree pumpkins and florals, and my DIY cross stitch spooky sign. Hope you like my first vignette and my two DIYs, which like I said, the spooky, that's something I've had for years. Now welcome to my entry. This is where we come in, take off our shoes. This is actually a shoe cabinet that we store our shoes in. So come in for a spell and I will show you around and give you the tour of my second vignette. Now this is the extent of my Halloween decorating in my house right now. It's just in the front door. I'm gonna do everything else outside. But for now, I wanted to just get into the spirit by having this little witchy corner in my house as soon as you enter. Now there's several pieces on here that are all DIYs, and I'm going to explain each and every one to you. The first one that you're going to be seeing right now is one that I'll be showing you later. It's something that I've been working on all month. It is by La Di Da, and it's called Something Wicked. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. And I'll show you guys how I made that. And then we have this gorgeous piece of cross stitch that I love. I've had it, I believe, since 2015 or 16. This is Minerva 2015. And this is Minerva. She's a Nora Corbett design that I stitched up. And then we have lots of creepy decor from the Dollar Tree, like the creepy fabric and the spider. Here we have my 2 witch DIY that you guys already seen. I've left a video up for you. And her Familia the bird. And then we have my collection of potion bottles, which I also DIY'd, and there is a video for that. I'll probably create a playlist, a separate one of just my Halloween DIYs for you guys, so that you can check them all out. But this is quite a few different things here that are DIY. Now the witch, the witch doll I should say, I've seen these in Home Goods and different places, and they start about $20 and up, but I made my witch doll, and that will be another DIY that I will share in this video with you. So there's actually 2 DIYs that you'll be seeing later on after I share with you the vignette. And then here at the bench I have my DIY pillow, which that was made from a towel, and the gnome. Those both came from Home Goods, and I just love them so much I had to include them in my decor. So now, like I said, the 2 witches, that's a Dollar Tree DIY. The potion bottles are all recycled and free printables. The witch, she is less than $10 when I put it all together. The cross stitch, again, this is something very particular. I highly encourage everyone to try cross stitch at least once in their life. It's so much fun to do. And that little one in the middle, that's Prairie Schooler, by the way, and it's just a little sign that I made quite a few years ago, or last year or 2 years ago, at least 2 years ago. And that one says, "All the great stories have witches in them." So these are all the things I have in my vignette. I hope you like them. If you have any questions about any of these DIYs, let me know. I will certainly try to help. But now I'm going to let you guys see exactly how I created my witch doll. It was so much fun to do, and you can definitely do this for less than $20. So now I'm using stuff from the Dollar Tree, and the witch head I picked up at Michael's. The 2 legs, those are the most expensive, $2.88 a piece, and they came from Walmart. And then fabric, I just have tons of fabric in my stash, and I just picked out some things that I had and decided to see which one is going to work best. Now for the first thing I did was to take the witch's head off and the smaller pumpkin, and I'm just going to hot glue the 2 together so she has a little bit of a neck. And then we're going to stick that straight through a Dollar Tree pumpkin. Let that dry, stick it, let it sit aside and let the glue set up. In the meantime, make some holes and figure out the placement of where you want your legs. Now I played with this quite a few times before settling on where exactly I wanted to put my legs. I didn't want them to spread out too much apart because it would take up a lot more of my space. So you'll see I ended up sticking them a couple different places and then decided no, I'd rather have them closer together. So just hot glue, stick your 2 legs into your pumpkin, just make sure it's sitting nice and flat. Now we need a skirt, and this is just a piece of fabric. I don't know, maybe it's a fat quarter, I'm not sure, but it was, it wasn't folded up or wrapped up in like a card, so I'm not sure exactly what size. And basically I folded it into a square and then kind of cut around it to give it a circular shape to create her skirt. And I did fuss a little bit with this just to get it the exact length because I wanted to make sure that her legs showed a little bit, but also that her pumpkin butt and body were covered up. And just poke a hole in, and you can just stick it in just like that, but I'm gonna make this permanent, so I'm gonna use some glue to glue everything together. As you can see, I'm still fussing with the shape of my skirt. I wanted it, a certain way. I wanted to make sure that it covered the legs and the bottom and, just fit right. So once I laid the skirt in, it's just a matter of taking my scissors and sticking it into the hole and then gluing the top pumpkin with the head onto the bottom, and there you have it. Now you can leave that just as is, but because my witch does not have arms, I decided to make a cape or a cloak and some arms, and I decided to use twist ties to make her arms because you're not really going to see them. What I'm going to do, and you'll see in a few minutes exactly what I'm going to do here, but I took these twist ties to give the shape or the suggestion of having arms. And then I'm gonna glue the cape directly onto that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I wanted my witch to hold a little spell book. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I created that. Now the scrap of my piece of fabric, it was a little bit too short, so I had to glue a piece of felt on to make it longer. And now I'm gluing that to the back of the neck, the pumpkin, the smaller part, the smaller pumpkin. And again, if you didn't want to put arms, you didn't have to do this, completely up to you. But I added the arm thing because, like I said, I'm going to give her a spell book, and I wanted her to look as if she had arms and not be an armless, which is perfectly fine. She could have been an armless witch. She doesn't need arms. She does magic. You know, she just says a spell and everything gets done. So I decided, though, to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to create a really simple, I'm sure you guys know how to do this, like to create a little folding book. And it's just scrap paper I have in my house, regular copy paper, and that's what I'm going to use to create my little spell book. And for the spells themselves, I got a little silly. I wrote a gnome banishment spell, also how to win the lottery, and a love spell. There was a few little silly spells in there, just the suggestion and the top, and then I did some scribbles because I'm sure it was written in some language that I couldn't understand anyway. So that's how I created my little book, and then I'm going to attach that to her arms. So that's basically all it is. Really simple, really fun to do. Like I said, the witch's head, I've seen them in Joann's. I've seen them also in Michael's. I know Michael's had like 50% off sale recently on all of their floral picks, and the witch's head was still there. So you can easily find one of these. I don't know if they had them in any other colors, but this was the one that my store had. They only have the orange hat witch. So that is what I picked. And then I decided I needed to add a little bit something to the front of her bodice. And I'm just using scraps of black fabric. As you can see, I have my stash of fall and Halloween fabrics next to me, and I'm just using just a few pieces of black to cover up her body so that the pumpkin doesn't fully show in the front. And that's it, you guys. That is my witch doll. I love how she turned out. Now for my second DIY, I've been stitching this. I started it last October, and then all this month I've been stitching it, trying to finish it, because I have about 100 works in progress when it comes to cross stitch. And this is something I started last year, never finished, and I decided I must finish it this year. So once I finished it, I am now using a piece of foam core, the same stuff you find in the Dollar Tree. I cut out the shape, and I'm using straight pins just to pin it all the way around. To make sure that it's nice and flush and smooth and straight in the front the way I want it to be. And then I'm going to use packing tape. And I know cross stitches are probably like, no, don't use packing tape. But I did. I used some packing tape on the back to hold the fabric down, because I'm also going to be attaching that to this dollar store. It's like a spider tray. And I'm going to be using some of that foam tacky stuff that I use all the time. But before I do that, I decided to make a little bow. Again, this is using all Dollar Tree ribbons to add a little bit more something to my display. And really simple. I glued all the pieces, the loops together, and then twist tied them, you know, that kind of bow, and then glued that onto the corner. I also used some of my spider rings around just to attach those on the corners of my design. And then, like I said, I used the foam sticky stuff on the back of my stitch piece. Now the reason I use the tape is because I'm sticking this foam stuff on the tape. It won't affect the fabric if I ever decide to remove this or change this. Once the tape comes off, that other stuff will also come off, and it won't be on the foam core or on my fabric. So that's my second DIY. I hope you guys like it. Please do consider cross stitch as a hobby. It's the most fun thing ever. So that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your participation. I cannot wait to check out this playlist. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye! And happy Halloween!